সুপ্রিয় দর্শক সবাইকে স্বাগত জানাচ্ছি ফার্মিং ফিউচার বাংলাদেশ নিবেদিত দীপ্ত কৃষি সংলাপে পাওয়ার্ড বাই কাজী ফার্মস। কৃষির আধুনিকায়ন, আধুনিক কৃষি গবেষণা সম্প্রসারণ সংক্রান্ত নানা বিষয় নিয়ে আমরা প্রতি সপ্তাহে হাজির হচ্ছি ফার্মিং ফিউচার বাংলাদেশ নিবেদিত দীপ্ত কৃষি সংলাপে। আমাদের এই সপ্তাহের বিশেষ আয়োজনে যুক্ত হয়েছেন ফিলিপিনের মাননীয় কৃষিমন্ত্রী ডক্টর উইলিয়াম ডার। আমরা আজকে আলোচনা করছি এগ্রিকালচারাল বায়োটেকনোলজি এজ এ পাথওয়ে ফর ফুড অ্যান্ড নিউট্রিশন সিকিউরিটি ইন ফিলিপিন্স। দর্শক, সম্প্রতি FAO বাংলাদেশে একটি রিজিওনাল কনফারেন্স করেছে। সেই কনফারেন্সে পৃথিবীর বিভিন্ন দেশের বিশেষজ্ঞগণ বাংলাদেশে এসেছিলেন। প্রায় 46টি দেশের প্রতিনিধি বাংলাদেশে ছিলেন, মন্ত্রী, সচিব এবং উচ্চ পর্যায়ের কর্মকর্তাগণ। তারা বিভিন্ন বিষয় নিয়ে আলোচনা করেছেন। আমরা আজকে খুবই ভাগ্যবান, আমাদের মধ্যে আজকে আমাদের ফিলিপিনের মাননীয় কৃষিমন্ত্রী উপস্থিত হয়েছেন। তিনি আলোচনা করবেন কিভাবে এগ্রিকালচারাল বায়োটেকনোলজি খাদ্য এবং পুষ্টি নিরাপত্তা নিশ্চিতকরণে সহায়ক ভূমিকা পালন করছে, এবং আমরা জানতে চাইব ফিলিপিনের সাথে আসলে বাংলাদেশের কৃষি সংক্রান্ত কোলাবোরেশনগুলো কি হচ্ছে। আমরা সরাসরি ফিরে যাব মূল আলোচনায়। আমি আলোচনার শুরুতে জানতে চাইব টু ডক্টর উইলিয়াম ডার, ওনাকে আমরা স্বাগত জানাচ্ছি। ডক্টর উইলিয়াম ডার, ওয়েলকাম ইউ টু বাংলাদেশ। উই আর ভেরি গ্ল্যাড অ্যান্ড ফর্চুনেট to have you among us for this Deepto Krishi Songlap.
Thank you, Arif, and I'm pleased to be here in Bangladesh.
Yeah, Dr. William Dar, we would like to learn a lot of things, and we'd like to hear from you specifically this very recent FAO Asia specific conference that we had very recently in Bangladesh. We had a lot of discussion. Many opportunities came forward. So could you please tell us that what are the key takeaways from this event? In particular, where we can collaborate, where Bangladesh can collaborate with Philippines, and how we can mutually benefit and get benefit from the collaboration.
Okay, let me mention, yes, that we are here, we have participated during the 36th session of the FAO Regional Conference for Asia and the Pacific, for the very purpose of shaping their priorities for the region, you know, in regard to transformation of the agri-food systems towards ensuring food and nutrition security, resiliency, and sustainability. So at the sidelines, let me also mention that I have had the opportunity to meet with the Minister of Agriculture here,
Dr.
Abdul Razak, and we shared our experiences in terms of course, ensuring food and nutrition security in our respective countries. And yes, you know, the regional conference zeroed in on how we really should be able to feed the growing people, I mean the population of Asia and Pacific, and how we can share knowledge and experiences, and even new technologies that can be properly utilized in our agriculture sector in our respective countries. Now, one of them is, of course, biotechnology. During our meeting with Minister Razak, we mentioned about the new development in the Philippines in terms of the ongoing commercialization of golden rice, which we know is very important in terms of solving vitamin A deficiency. As you know, we have problems also in regard to this micronutrient deficiency. Much more for the young children and women, yes. So today we are now at the stage of mass producing the seeds, utilizing research stations, and even farms in the countryside with farmers who are willing to collaborate in really enhancing the massive production of seeds, so that by next cropping season, we shall be able to now give all these seeds to the priority provinces where vitamin A deficiency is observed. So hoping that by the end of this year, 2022, that massive golden rice production will happen.
Honorable Minister, in relation to that, how your government is supporting the Department of Extension at your country to scale up golden rice because it's been approved and now it would be in farmers field, eventually go to the consumers.
Yes.
So how your government and you are supporting your extension department and to scale it up?
You know, we issued a special order for the scaling up of this golden rice, and we have the Philippine Rice Research Institute under the umbrella of the Department of Agriculture, and they are in collaboration with the International Rice Research Institute. They are the ones spearheading the massive seed production in key areas, and they are now being assisted by our people, our regional field offices in those areas. So even this early, we are starting to have massive public, dissemination of this new technology so that public acceptance will be there. Biotechnology has been feared to be something, in the eyes of some of the critics, this is not a good technology. But, as we are having, impacts of climate change in a big way, and the increasing population of the world, we need to have biotechnology.
And we have limited land to need
limited
more
land
food.
resources, yes.
Yes. Honorable Minister, you just mentioned about skepticism and concern from many of the community and people. So how you are going to tackle that, or how your extension department or your researcher, how they are going to mitigate those challenges in regard to extension of the golden rice or dissemination
As
of the
I've
golden rice?
already mentioned, we are starting, and there is a design for this strategic communication support for the public to understand properly this new technology. And critics would also tell that we don't have proper protocols or the processes in terms of biosafety consideration. We have all literature indicating in the world that this is one of the safest technologies. So we have one of the more stringent processes in terms of the approval process until it is commercialized. So we will have TV programs, we'll have the
Public
newspapers,
consultation.
public consultations here in the provinces, and openness to dialogue with them to really have a good, better understanding of this new technology.
Dr. William Dar, you were talking about golden rice and how this is going to address, nutrition deficiency and how we are going to scale it up in your country. So Bangladesh is actually still behind it for the deregulation procedure. So how we can learn from Philippines?
Okay, we can share all the experiences we have had until we reach this stage. Of course, you are also lead in terms of commercialization of BT eggplant. So the same process, going through those processes will entail a lot of efforts and a lot of time. But we are willing to really share, and because we are documenting the processes involved every step of the way. And yes, it would be worthwhile to share lessons, your experiences in BT eggplant, and our experiences in commercializing golden rice. Let me mention also that we are at the final stage of getting the approval for commercialization of BT eggplant in the Philippines. So we'll be following the lead from Bangladesh.
As you know, Honorable Minister, that Bangladesh deregulated and commercialized BT eggplant back in 2013. And as of now, more than 65,000 farmers are cultivating the crop. So do you think that the farm community will accept BT eggplant in your country when it's deregulated or commercialized?
I believe so. The same experience we will have now in golden rice, that will be the same for BT eggplant. BT or eggplant in general is a common vegetable in the Philippines. So we need to really learn from you and habit enhance in terms of the approval process and start commercializing, because who would not like a pesticide-free eggplant?
Eggplant, right.
Who would not like to reduce the cost of production, you know? So there are lots of advantages to pursue the need to commercialize BT eggplant in the country.
Honorable Minister, there are multiple avenues of agri-biotechnology, as we all know. You mentioned about golden rice, about BT eggplant. What are the other areas that you are intervening in terms of utilizing this tool? What do you anticipate the progress of gene editing and other technology, advanced technology in regard to addressing nutrition and food security issue in Philippines?
Yeah, there are problems in crucifers, for example, in cabbage, in terms of the attack during production. So we are looking at BT application as well. We are looking at this issue of strengthening the papaya. You know, we produce a lot of papaya, strengthening the life cycle of this fruit. We are looking at also this problem of this Sigatoga disease in banana.
Mm-hmm.
So there are lots of issues, but we are trying to focus on a number of these issues.
Honorable Minister, you were talking about the transition and the progression of agriculture. What is your opinion about climate change and what different countries can take, how they want to tackle it?
You know, climate change will really impact into food production in most of the countries of the world. And the most vulnerable region is Asia Pacific. And of course, Bangladesh, even Philippines is considered the fifth most vulnerable country in terms of the impacts of climate change. So this early using now newer tools of biotechnology, we are really institutionally building these laboratories to see to it that we are going to develop more resilient, more climate, smart technologies, varieties that are resistant to drought, varieties that are tolerant to heat.
Yeah.
You know, even Erie, for example, they have submarine rice for Bangladesh.
Mm-hmm.
So all those types of, newer
Varieties and
dimensions
technologies, yeah.
will be necessary to mitigate the potential reduction in the yields as brought about by climate change. And that's why in the country today, in the Philippines, for example, we have set our sights into what we call the transformation process of Philippine agriculture. And we have 4 pillars to be guided with. Namely, number 1 is farm consolidation and clustering, which will include the collective efforts of farmers associations, working with local government units and the like, because we need economies of scale to do a good agribusiness-oriented agriculture.
Okay.
The second pillar is what we call modernization,
Mm-hmm.
the use of machines, mechanization, as we have seen here, newer technologies and innovations, of course supporting extension system, and
Bringing private sector.
bringing in a private sector. Yeah. So the third pillar is agri-industrialization. So we're mostly, again, private sector is key. We are setting up agribusiness industrial corridors where food processing, value adding can be done, connected with the production areas in the
To
countryside.
reduce the post-production loss and
Correct.
making agriculture
So
more profitable.
post-harvest
Yeah.
facilities
Yeah.
have to be made more available, and drying facilities and the like. And the fourth pillar is all about professionalization of the sector. The men and women that you need to have in the agriculture sector must be real experts, including that of the local government units, because there is a delineation of the work between national government, which will do the steering role, while the local government units doing the rowing role, but they have to be in partner.
Well connected and equally
Correct.
treated.
So we are hopeful that these transformations, but one thing I have to highlight, because all my experiences would indicate that, okay, you may have the best of plans and designs of programs and projects, but if it is not well supported, just like the case here in Bangladesh, it was the topmost priority of government to bring agriculture to where it is now today and in the future. So I would hope that, this is one of the best lessons of this visit in Bangladesh, to have learned and to have seen myself that agriculture is a topmost investment by government, and I would hope that we can follow the same, because if not, you will always be dependent on, supply augmentation from other countries. And with the problem brought about by COVID-19 pandemic, and the problem now brought about by the Ukraine crisis, there is a massive disruption of supply chain, increasing petroleum prices,
fertilizer prices,
leading to increasing agricultural inputs prices. So everything, it's such a messy world today, and propping up your agriculture sector, stockpiling of food and the like is, the best way to do. So invest well, and consider agriculture. We will consider, hopefully, agriculture at the topmost investment area in the future.
Fantastic. Honorable Minister, the father of the nation, Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, envisioned and emphasized agriculture after the liberation war. And the ruling government is taking that leadership and scaling it up, as you cited.
There you are.
So what is your evaluation opinion about Bangladesh?
I like the political will of the government to have declared, agriculture, food production as #1 priority of the country. I like that priority. Then they have invested, they have given significant budget resources to the sector. That we hope we should do.
Great. Minister, we are at the end of the program. I would like to ask two specific questions. One is, what is your message to other leaders about agri-biotechnology? And the second is, what is your message to next generation farmer and researchers?
Okay. Biotechnology is key and will be key in ensuring food and nutrition security, climate resilient agriculture, and with the increasing population of the world, you need to up the productivity levels using these newer tools of biotechnology. You develop your own technology, of course, borrowing the experiences and lessons from other countries. The second point is, investing in the youth of today, because they will become the farmers and the agripreneurs of tomorrow.
Thank you, Honorable Minister Dr. William Dar, for honoring us with your presence and time. And I'm taking this privilege to thank you on behalf of Farming Future Bangladesh team, on behalf of Deepto Krishi team, and on behalf of all the agriculturists of Bangladesh. We are really grateful for your presence. And on behalf of our audience, I would like to thank you for your valuable message that you have shared.
Thank you, Arif. Thank you again, and dhanyawad.
দর্শক, আমরা আজকে আলোচনা করছিলাম কৃষি প্রযুক্তি, বিশেষ করে কৃষি জীব প্রযুক্তি নিয়ে ফিলিপিনের মাননীয় কৃষিমন্ত্রী ডক্টর উইলিয়াম দারের সাথে। আমরা কৃষি প্রযুক্তির যেই ট্রান্সফরমেশন দেখতে পাচ্ছি, সেখানে বাংলাদেশ সহ আমাদের এশিয়া রিজিয়নের বিভিন্ন দেশ অগ্রগামী ভূমিকা পালন করছে। বাংলাদেশ সরকার কৃষিতে অভূতপূর্ণ সাফল্য অর্জন করেছে, আমরা আজকে শুনতে পারলাম সেই কথা। আমরা আশা করি কৃষি প্রযুক্তিকে আরও বেশি এগিয়ে নেওয়ার জন্য সরকার এবং তার সাথে সংশ্লিষ্ট সকলেই কাজ করবেন, কৃষক ভাই বোনেরা কাজ করবেন এবং খাদ্য ও পুষ্টি নিরাপত্তা নিশ্চিতকরণে আমরা যে লক্ষ্য নিয়ে কাজ করছি সেই লক্ষ্য অর্জনে সবাই একসাথে ভবিষ্যৎ বাংলাদেশের জন্য কাজ করবে। সেই আশাবাদ ব্যক্ত করে ফার্মিং ফিউচার বাংলাদেশ নিবেদিত দীপ্ত কৃষি সংলাপের এই সপ্তাহের বিশেষ আয়োজন থেকে বিদায় নিচ্ছি। আমি আরিফ। আমরা প্রতি সপ্তাহে শুক্রবার বিকেল 5:30 দীপ্ত কৃষি সংলাপ নিয়ে আপনাদের সামনে হাজির হচ্ছি। আশা করি আপনারা ভালো থাকবেন, সুস্থ থাকবেন এবং পরবর্তী অনুষ্ঠান দেখবার আমন্ত্রণ জানিয়ে বিদায় নিচ্ছি। ধন্যবাদ।